Hello, and welcome to Channel Sports on Sunday. I am Ken Ochonogo. He said, Max will be Max. I almost caught him. How do you catch him? The guy is about 19 seconds away from you. I think it's been all Max Verstappen in this season. Sometimes you have that dominance. You know, Vettel did his. Alonso, the first superstar after the Demons times has to be Mickey Schumacher. Schumacher did it in such style, in such dominance, in such defiance to the rules and whatever it is the winning is everything for him. And then Alonso came in and won back-to-back, and kind of dethroned Schumacher before the guy said, look, I want to come back. And after Alonso, we expected when Lewis Hamilton started, we thought this guy, was over there. But his first season, he was just there, almost winning it. It became an almost season, and he didn't get that. He lost that opportunity, but came back stronger. And right now, he's having 7. But within that period, there was Vettel of Jimmy Colson Formula V, and won back-to-back 4 in a row. And right now, we are seeing Max Verstappen, another V, trying to say, look, it is my time. What do? He went 11 wins in a row. Right now, the Red Bull are the champion, the constructors champion. The championship might wrap up in 1 or 2 races again after this. And people are saying the dominance is bad for the sport. I don't think so. Everybody have their era. If you want to win. If Bayern wants to win the league 20 years in a row, let them win. If you want to challenge them, get another person. If City wants to win 4 or 5 in a row, let them win. That is what it's all about. When you are winning, it is not boring. When others are winning, it was there. Lewis Hamilton has set all the records settable. You understand? So basically, he is the greatest. Now, of course, the 7th championship he shares with Mickey Schumacher is what we can. He would have gotten it, the season before last, when that last day race that turned everything upside down, demoralized him, catapulted Verstappen. The role of those who are calling, when to move on or when to stop and stuff like that. A lot of them came and said, too much interference, let the races go on. But right now, I think it is Verstappen time. It is Red Bull time. If Mercedes, if Ferrari, if McLaren, if you guys believe that you want to get Red Bull off, go and tweak your engine again. It has to do in the engine. I think it's man-machine money. But I think the machine is the most dominant force, because if you have the best cars, you can always see from when, not just the driver who is winning, but the second driver in that particular team will also be doing so well. But then when they left, where is Bottas? Bottas was almost challenging for the title, but right now Bottas is nowhere to be found, because he's driving a less fanciful car, a less efficient machine, with pace, with power, with precision, which are the things that you need. It is Channel Sports. Also, like I said, my guys are in the house, but today basically we go to Asaba. It has to do with grassroots sports development. It has to do with what this show is all about. It's about Yemi talks about, the carousel. Where do you get them from? How do you identify them? How do you kind of train them, nurture them to stardom? You are seeing players at the top. You are seeing footballers. You are seeing boxers. You are seeing athletes. You're seeing, the Amosans of this world breaking world records. But where did they start from? If you do not have that to present them, then there is nowhere you want to go. So we'll look at that, talk about Verstappen, like we are saying. In England, only one team has, 6/6, and others are chasing. But for Manchester United, okay, by Mababe, you win some, and then you lose some. So I said, every year saying that Manchester United won, I was this way to one of them did the worst of games that they've ever played. Burnley played the game of their lives. And for Barcelona, I don't know how they did it. 88th minute, they were 2 goals down. They still came up to score 3 goals. Probably it's a revival time. But then we'll see what will happen when Vinicius, that guy is Vinicius. I think his name should be Vinicius, not Vinicius, because the way he turns them around and stuff. So we're going to have our long time. I can't forget this in my intro now. Bayern 7-0. 7-0, the trash vocal. So Harry Kane is there. He's already top scorer in England. I think 59 goals he has scored, because I know Rooney was the top scorer with 53 goals. Alan Shearer is still back there with 30 goals. When it comes to national team, of course, at club football, Shearer is the top. But then when it comes to the national team, there in Nigeria, of course, we know who he is. The king himself, your king, 37 goals. We can't take that away. But one boy called Osime. The guy is a Wombo. All right. You hear me?
Good afternoon.
National Youth Games 7th edition, Asaba. We'll soon be going to Asaba.
Absolutely. It's good news, at least that the game is happening. I love the fact that finally Asaba has Delta accepted to host, and everybody's gathered in Asaba. So like you said, everybody should be excited because this is the carousel that will hit, how do I put it, potentials that will hit future athletes for Nigeria in all the sports. Over 5,000 athletes converging in Asaba. And I love the fact that the sport minister represented the president. That is to show the commitment of the government to this. We cannot keep doing the same thing the same way and expect a different result. So now we should pay attention to the details there. And whatever athlete from the different states that comes across from this particular, how do I put it, event should be nurtured. So this is not about states winning. It's not about winning. It's about development, and we should focus on the development. It's not about win at all costs. Not a place where we said we want under 15, and some people will be coming with ancient of days and claiming they're under 15. And on the long run, yes, they will win this, but they will not be able to move the country forward in that particular sport. So for everybody, it's not about winning. I don't want to see anybody celebrating. No, Lagos State has. Yes, you can celebrate the stars. Yes, but the future stars. You can celebrate the future stars, but the focus should be on development. So this is developmental. So let's look at it like the March Madness in the US, where you see youth converge. Yes. That trials that happen in Jamaica, where you see athletes coming.
The whole stadium is filled.
So if I
60,000 coming in to come out for trials.
From these 5,000 athletes, if Nigeria can get good 500, that will be talking about 100 that will be talking about in the next 2-3 years.
Yes.
People that will take over from the emotions of this world, people that will take over from the cadres of this world. That is what this is about, and we should not focus on winning. So for me, if we get 100, it will be a win-win for me.
He's talking about, coming. I know, Theo is the youth in the house.
Wow. I was actually
okay. Stop bastardizing that.
I'll come back to this, but you talked about Bayern Munich winning 7-0. I really cannot blame them for taking out that frustration on their opponent, because look at their last match against Manchester United, an underwhelming performance. They should have actually won that game by more goals.
Yeah.
But coming back to
you needed to say that.
I just needed to get it off my chest.
Okay. You needed to say that.
You needed to get it out.
You needed to say that. Chest. No hard feelings.
I know.
But what I'm going to say, I don't want you to take your mind back to some years back, 4 or 5 years back. Also, that is before the COVID thing, when we were doing the Channel Kids Cup, and then we had to do the screening.
Yeah.
I remember that. I'm not trying to bring down Kano State, but then the state, some of the state, they all came in here. And then the athletes came. So when I said, okay, let's start screening. I think Kano was supposed to send their own athletes. They now found out that they have a team in Lagos already who were here for another competition. But that team is not an under-12 team. You understand? It's not an under-12 team. I think they came to do either under 18 or under something. I will tell you why I said it. So when we time for screening, when I said, okay, everybody, just like their screen, I think we check if we can see those pictures of those videos on screen and stuff. When we ask everybody, we put all the teams together, irrespective of where you come from. We don't want to screen state by state. So we don't want to know who
you are. We don't know who you are.
There won't be any, okay, screen Lagos. No, we mixed all of them. Now, you will now see people who are this height. When you are coming to them, they will now they will develop bow legs.
And they will
develop bow legs. They will say, and then when I say, of course, our chairman said, you guys shouldn't do this again. But we did it then. We said they should pull their shirts and leave only their shirt. My guy, when you see the under 12,
maybe they developed six-pack. Maybe they developed any. Is it wrong for an under 12 to have
I tell you, it was that funny. But the thing is, what we did, we didn't send them away. We kept them in camp. We fed them. We gave them accommodation. We did everything, just like other. We just look. You can join, the supporters. You can do whatever it is until when you guys, needed to go. So that was what we did. That is the spirit of, the Kids Cup. But this is I want to see if we are ready. We can go to Asaba to see. Okay, we're not ready yet. To take that. But like we said, this is the. Okay. We are trying to say if we can do that. All right, I think we can go straight to Asaba. we can go straight to Asaba. Okay, I can see I think Asaba is a bit cool now because Tonobok, you are looking cool, you are looking calm, you are looking collected. How is Asaba?
Well, Asaba is good. After the opening ceremony yesterday, of course, you know the pressure in the opening ceremonies and close ceremonies, how it comes. But we've been able to go through that of opening ceremony. And so far, the screening has been going on. And people are in their accommodations, and the facilities for the sports are ready, and competition has started. That's what is going on here. But Asaba is busy at the moment, very busy.
Okay, for those of you who are just watching, Tonobok is the chairman of the LOC, the Local Organizing Committee. He is also the chairman of the Delta State Sports Commission. So you can understand that as chairman of the Delta State Commission that he is doing that. He's also in Africa. He wears so many caps too. Because the Confederation of African Athletics also, he is the president for the West African sub-region and also the vice president for Africa. I love we love all this match pass because we want to see the kids ourselves and see what it is. What is the significance of this game? What do we intend to achieve by the National Youth Games?
Yes, this is the most important aspect of sports. It is good to catch them young, grassroots sports development. Although ordinarily we've been advocating that they should change the age bracket, because under 15 is supposed to be school sports, and we have school sports federation. We are going to take it up more with the new Minister for Sports Development, because it is good to catch them young. And you know, in the international competitions, let's say athletics, you have the youth game, the youth sports there, or in the youth games is always from the age of 15 upwards. The junior, you have from the age of 16 up to 20. So the age bracket is supposed to be from this age of 16 up to age of 18. That's supposed to be youth game. But the youth game in Nigeria, as we talk about it now, the important thing is to catch them young. But when you catch them young, what happens? You need to groom them until they hit stardom. So many of them will come, but you pick the best of them that will sustain the tempo, and you keep training them. Some of them definitely will fizzle out, but some will stay, and some will give you the best. Likes of Toby Amuso, Blessing Okabari, Divine Oduduru, so many of them. Favor Ophili, this was how we got them, and they are out there today. We need to get more of them. Some of them that were at the lorry the last time, in athletics, in Delta State, 21 of them have gotten admission to US. Some of them have left. Some of them we are about to buy tickets for them to also leave. And they want to take up their athletics career over there. And that was how people like Ophili and the rest of them went to the US. So this is how you catch them. But when you get the very good ones, there's need to keep them. And then they will be the champions of tomorrow.
Okay, I wanted to ask you another question, but from what you have just said, I want to put you on the spot, Tony. I want to put you on the spot. Delta State, from the Ibori regime, at least sport infrastructure, put it in place. I know there are, standard stadiums in Asaba, in Warri, in Ohara, in Kwale, and all those places. And also, the subsequent administrations of the last government also did establish a lot of higher institutions in the state. Universities and College of Education, College of Agriculture, and a lot of them. Why do Delta State, Tony, we get money, why do Delta State need to send our athletes abroad? Is that nothing that we'll do in Delta to say, fine, these schools, because the schools are putting there, if these facilities, let me just ask you, I don't want to answer the question I'm asking. Do these schools that we have the facilities to train the athlete, the abundant athlete we have in Delta State, and the resources that we have, can it sustain them?
Of course, we have schools that will do that. Don't forget, we have a high performance center in Port Harcourt. And now we have a private university, sports university, here in Delta State by Senator Ned Woko. So things like this are coming up. We have Mosuga is a higher institution also for that, and we have that. But some of the keys, this scholarship is from the schools, not from the state, and they prefer to go there. And you know, most of the time, scouts comes into Nigeria, or when we go for international competitions, they see these kids, they want to go. You cannot stop them, and they're benefiting from it. No doubt, they are benefiting from it. So some of them are still in Nigeria training, but you know, in athletics, of course, a lot of them want to go to US. A lot of them want to be more exposed than what we have here. It's not that we don't have, but how would you stop a kid that wants to go out to US and on scholarship and study? So I think it's not a bad idea for them to go.
I agree. I agree with you. Jamaica does the same model, send their best athletes wherever it is. You understand? But I'm not letting you go on this. Actually, I still want to hold you a little. Is that about 21 left. Beautiful, good news. We shall look at them. But for the 21 that left, we should have maybe like 300 to 400 that are on ground. Are we giving them scholarships? Are we giving them scholarships to study in Nigerian schools and then use the facilities that? Are we giving them scholarships?
I don't know about other states, but in Delta State, we have allowance that we give to athletes, to our athletes. We are doing as much as that. We put some of them, we call them program athletes. We pay them every month, like people that are on salary. That is the allowance that we give to them. But I don't know about other states. I can only talk about Delta State. So that's the much I can say about that.
No, I'm asking about the school scholarships. Tony, are any of them on scholarship? Are they in our universities?
In Delta, we don't give school scholarship. What we give is program athletes allowances every month.
Okay, all right, okay, that is good. That is good.
And that much, truly, that much can even pay school fees, because you see some of them are earning as much as 40-something, 50-something thousand naira monthly. Okay. You know, so it depends on them how they want to use it. Some are in school, but those that are not in school, they know what to do with their money.
Okay, okay. Let me take you back now to the LOC of which you are sharing, and in this particular game, you've just talked about, you know, if the minister agrees, probably are going to move from 16 age under 15 to under 18, which is the youth, which I totally agree. You can still grab them at that point. It's still developmental at that particular level. How do you determine the age range? When you screen, what do they use in screen? How do they screen them?
I can tell you it's very difficult. But we are trying our best. We are clapping down on them. We are using the NIN. We are looking at faces also. If your face is too hard, we'll look at it. we will sometimes tell them to raise their armpit to see if they're shaving. There are so many ways to go about it, and then you have to bring your. If you tell us that you are in school, we don't look for the recent school result. We tell you to bring your primary six certificate. Okay. At least if you are in secondary school, you must have left primary six. You have to show us that result. These are the ways that we're trying to get them, because sometimes too it's difficult. Children, the way they grow these days, you can see a child of 13, 14 years, very tall. You'll be thinking it's about 18. Yeah. So sometimes you have to give benefit of doubt, then you demand for some documents. That's the way we are going about it. Okay.
Like we said, this is what it is all about. I know this is an opportunity for all the directors of sports in the states to come around in Delta, you know, when these games are going on or any of the venues. Are you also using this kind of to articulate, like this kind of policy you're talking about, or how we can enhance on grassroots sport development? How many sports are we having in this particular event?
We have 30, is it 35 or 35?
35 or 35.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had to step down canoeing, so he's 34. We had to step down canoeing at the last minute because the River Niger is getting overflown, so it's flowing so much. So we don't want to risk the children. Okay. If it's the adults, they would have been different. But for you to reach somebody's child in that kind of pressure, it will be very high risk. So we have to step it down. But every other one, they are competing.
Okay, for the athletes who are coming into Delta State, what should they expect? The athletes and then the officials that are coming in, what should they expect in terms of...
well, they are already here. They have come in. They have seen so far. Well, I'll tell them just to relax, compete, and compete clean, because we are seriously advocating that people must compete clean without drugs, without the use of drugs. We are really trying to clamp down on that too. So let everybody compete, relax, compete, and enjoy the good hospitality of Deltans. And let's enjoy the game and let the winner take it. I don't know who the winner will be. We are praying. We are working hard. Other states are also working hard. Let's see who is going to take it this time.
Okay, I would have allowed you to go, but we are going to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll just take 1 or 2 questions from you. It is still Channel Sport on Sunday. This is a special edition for the Youth Games. Stay with us. Go nowhere. Okay, you're welcome back. It is the Channel Sport on Sunday, and the focus, like we said today, has been on grassroots sports development, especially as the Youth Game is taking place right there in Asaba Delta. It is the 7th edition from 2013. We started right there in Abuja. Then Ilorin did the best they could do. For 5 good years, Ilorin was host to this particular national youth games. And then right now, it has moved from Ilorin to the Mecca of sports, because Delta is now the Mecca of sports in Nigeria. NPFL, the Women's League, Scrabble, everything is taking place right there at Asaba. And that's what we are saying, that, when you have the facilities in place, you have to attract, because where the African athletics championship was taking place, also right there, as about the Super Eagles have played there. So let's see how we can. Of course, things are a bit difficult, trying to, how do you share the resources, in order to take care of all the needs that we have. That little economics they taught us in school of, your needs and your wants. You want a lot of things, but the needy, when you do your skill of preference, the small resources that the scarce ones, you now apportion it. So, okay, Okwe has just joined us. Okwe Majala, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ken, for having me, and happy Sunday to our viewers. The Olympics has only been the summer games, except when we now have the winter games. So I think it will also, looking into the future, the youth games should also be held not during any season. Because when the even decides to open up, I wonder what will make of these games. Okay,
I mean, they should look at the times. They're from maybe by January, February.
Yes. Not this way, especially in the south. So
okay. Is it really like now?
No, during the match, you see the wet. And that's why I was saying something about the Niger overflowing
at this time, which is why they cannot have that. Okay, let's see if we still have Tonobo Kokoa. He is also the president of the AFN, the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, the vice president of CAF, Confederation of African Athletes in West Africa, and also the vice president in Africa. Tonobo, before you left, I told I wanted to ask you a question. So just be, the way we say it in Lagos, be coming down. I can't leave you now before talking about what is happening to our elite athletes. You just talked about the kind of the challenge of drugs. How do you feel when these stories come up, and what is your association, your federation doing to curb it? Right now is an opportunity for you to talk to the kids there. Are you having like a symposium or lecture on telling them the effects of this and whatever, and then in that larger scale, how disturbed are you in the stories you are getting of Nigerian athletes?
Okay, the truth is, when I came on board in AFN as the president, Nigeria was already in Category A, and we didn't have any choice. We found out that the only way out was to start all kind of sensitization and we've been doing sensitization in every activity that we have, in every competition that we have. We always make sure we organize a sensitization program. So we've been going on that, and every time we do that, we send it to World Athletics and AIU so that they will know that we are working hard. Even in this competition here in the youth game, we've organized one, and then we are planning to organize another one before they leave, not just for athletics, but for all sports. And as we speak, we have the NADC here in Asaba already. We are going to be testing athletes, and I want to make sure that, especially athletics, we want to make sure that athletes will be competing clean. And I don't know if you actually watched the match pass yesterday. There's a group that was they were carrying placards or signs saying "Say no to drugs," and that's what we're talking about there.
Okay.
So we've been doing sensitization, and that's the only way to try to talk to athletes not to stay away from drugs, and especially their coaches. At this grassroots level, the children are still very naive. They don't know nothing about it. Sometimes you find out that it's their coaches that introduces them to such, which we're not going to take lightly if we ever find any of such again. So we've been working, and we don't like it when it happens, but athletes are definitely responsible for whatever they do with drugs. You, as a federation, we cannot do much. We just have to allow the international body to do their work. Okay. If you start interfering, that means you are backing the athletes that are caught. So we are always trying to be careful, because they can decide to ban the entire country from participating in further international or future international gigs.
Events. Okay. My colleague here wants to ask you. He wanted to ask you a question. You wanted to ask him.
Okay, Tony, thank you so much. With respect to the welfare of the visiting athletes, in terms of feeding, transportation, what's the role of the LOC and the state government bringing those athletes? Just let us in on that.
Yeah, we are the Delta State is the host state. We are in charge of their. Yes, we are actually the states are supposed to pay some money, and in that money they're supposed to be for their feeding and maybe some other things, but it's not enough because they only pay 15,000 naira per pupil, so per person. So you can really not do anything with 15,000 naira. So we, as the host state, we've decided to take it over and help the situation. Ordinarily, the feeding is supposed to be from what they pay, but what they pay is just not enough, and they pay that money to the MOC, that's the main organizing committee, and then make it available for the LOC to work with, but it's just not enough. But for every other thing, Delta, we've been doing what we can do to make sure that everything is okay. But accommodation, transportation, security, these are the things that the host state will have to take care of, and we're working on it.
Okay.
And the facilities.
Okay. Yes. Asked that before we let you go now. Paris is is less than a year from now. We are moving on to the Olympic Games. What are the chances of Nigerian athletes? And then do you see some of our youth now, some of the young athletes, trying to make the mark to make the Olympic qualifying a standard, also and still go over there to go and excel?
Well, you cannot get anything from this particular set.
Sets,
But we have the ones that have already, you know.
No, I'm asking you as AFN president now. You know, you have so many caps. I know you are wearing only one cap there now, but I know you have. Okay. Yeah.
Well, from AFN, I can beat my hand on my chest that it's not. Our outing in the Olympics is not going to be the same as the last World Athletics Championship. The last World Athletics Championship, I could tell you that I fell ill because of what happened there. First of all, Nigeria, we did not even camp at all. We did not come together as a team, and we went to Budapest. Likes of Jamaica, they camped for about 2 weeks before they went to Budapest and stayed 10 days to acclimatize but we did not do all that because of this no fun, paucity of fun, no fun. You know, I don't know what to say about it, but we just have to do things differently if we want to do anything better. That's all I can say. But if you bring our athletes together in good time, I know that Toby would have given us a lot better if not for what happened to her. Well, I've been praying for that girl. She's going to go higher and higher by day. And then Ese Brume also sustained injury. She's just gradually coming out of injuries. But I know that in the next Olympics, it's not just going to be about them. We're going to do a lot better than what we used to have. Because some of our athletes, in some of the men, we have, if not that they did so much in the NCAA, they were overused, and right after that, there was no chance for them to camp and all that. If they were together in camp for at least about 2 weeks, our guys, our boys in US would have done a lot better because we have a lot of them that are doing sub 10 in 100 meters. If you have sprinters like that at that level, then you should know that you can go home and relax.
But is your association not the one to be held responsible by making these kids overrun at the NCAA and also at the Grand Prix? If you are giving them a level of grants, maybe if you can champion their cause from the federal government or whatever is that, they can get this, can give them some grants to sustain them so that they won't be running for money and running for doing their duty to their schools and give them scholarship where they ought to run. Isn't it? I mean, they have to sustain themselves.
You see, when they are in school,
when
you cannot tell them not to go to school.
Yes, of course.
When they are in school on scholarship,
you
don't have control over them.
Okay.
After their school, then you can control them. What we can do is to try to plead with their coaches in school so that they try to use them less. So what we have decided to do now is to quickly, our liaison officer there, who is the performance director, Victor Corey, to try and liaise with the schools and then we try to monitor what is going on with the school so that they don't overuse them. And then when it comes to the national gig from Nigeria, for them to represent Nigeria, will be having tired legs to do what they have to do. So that's what we've decided. So we want to write to all the schools going forward to prepare why we want to prepare for Olympics, that we really need our athletes, that this Olympic year is coming up, that we want to monitor what's going to be happening with them.
All right, thank you so much. We've been talking with Atonobo Kokoa. He's the chairman of the local organizing committee of the 7th National Youth Games. He is the president of AFN, vice president of Africa, the Confederation of African Athletics. So he wears so many caps. Next time we'll have him here. We are going to have him on. Do we have him on AFN or we have him on Africa? Where should we have him?
Charity begins at home.
AFN. The house said, when next we have you, we are going to have you on AFN. So one day there is no running away, nowhere. We will get all the things and pick you. Thank you so much for being part of the show with us.
All right. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Then. Take care.
Okay. All right. That's Atonobo Kokoa. So we still have maybe Fred might also join us. Fred Edore might join us soon while the show goes on. The youth games. Like we're saying, I think I would for me, this is my opinion personally, because you said something similar, but I would have said abolish the medal table. there should be no medal stable for each state. Yeah, I mean, because it is this thing that is why some people say that they complain of poaching under 15 athletes. You understand? Medals. The other time that the National Sport Festival talk about pardon of the medal stable, and normally I thought it was budget that they part. But they have the whatever it is. So I mean, this my state won or my state did not win. But we should showcase if you set a record, if you do all the, we can bring in the athletes, but not like say they belong to each state.
Ken, every state commissioner for sports,
yes,
and the directorate of sports in every state, they want to justify the money given to them by the governor, and that in this crime, how do you justify that? It's by saying, oh, or your state went for this thing, and we came second, or we came third, and we got them.
Wait. This thing. We are going to open the lines soon. We are going to open the lines. This is anointing. Can we up sound this? Can we up sound this? Hello? Delta State.
It's the usual practice for Delta State.
To anoint all the
That is the last activity in their St. Paul service.
It's
anyway, okay. So like call it anything.
Yes.
But like I was saying,
yes.
When you have to justify those funds only by your position on the medal table, I think we cannot abolish the medal table because people must still have something they are looking up to. But at the same time, a lot of reorientation needs to take place. That in justify funds, it's not just about showing your what's it called?
Your
performance.
Yes.
Or your number on the medal table. If we look at you 1, 2, 3 years, and these are the number of athletes that you are able to have
to bring out. That is the standard.
The standard. Look at the case of Putin you are talking about.
Yes.
When you are putting on under 15 athletes because he performed at the last.
I think that's the governor of the state.
Yes.
Sheriff. That's Sheriff.
Okay. So you perform well at the last youth game. Another state is coming to put you so that they can improve their lot on the medal table.
Yes.
I think that should not be happening at this stage. Okay. Really, it's developmental.
Where was your take on this anointing?
It could be personal, but I think I once experienced this kind of thing in 1999.
Yes.
Normally we have this faculty competition,
yes.
And the main team, if some of them are watching now, they will be able to testify to this.
You anoint them?
The most complete team. Yes. That team was the 2002 team accounting class. Ibizaria was like the Brazilian team of 1970. Agbo, a great defender. Iswa, in fact, the most technical schoolboy midfielder I've ever seen. Just like Socrates, you have Ali. So a very good team.
Yes.
And they were having their meeting. Someone said, "Look, let's have a prayer committee." They say, "No, what do you mean?"
Okay. When they come back,
they had their number 1, 2, 3 goalkeepers got injured in training.
Okay.
And people were saying, "Look, someone said let's have a prayer committee." You said no. So that's why I said on a personal note.
Yes.
If Delta they've been doing that, it works for them, but you cannot do this without preparing. And I tell you something, from the time of James Ibori,
yes.
Delta they've been setting the target.
From James Ibori, that mean you have not followed it?
No. We have Bendel.
National Sports Festival from Midwest has been winning the National Sports Festival. When they from Midwest to Bendel,
yes,
you understand, it was like that. Bendel. I remember, I think it was the third national sports festival. That was Kaduna '77 when Bendel, came in as Bendel. I think they had about 78 or 79 gold medals, while Lagos that came second got about 28 gold medals.
Okay.
So it has been
the dominance has always
been
there.
Midwest, yes, Bendel has been Edo Delta.
Yes,
but where is Edo? The gap between Edo Delta is not the same. And
absolutely.
Benin was the headquarter for the Midwest and
Bendel headquarter not be where the thing come from.
No, they have the bulk.
See, understand one thing. You look at Lagos. We have Victoria Island, we have this, we have that. Is it the number of footballers that come out from Ajegule? And when are you comparing to when I coming out from? No, it is not like that now. So you might have Midwest or Bendel. then the bulk of the athletes are coming from one place. The bulk of education is coming from one side. The bulk, everybody has their own area.
What the point is saying is,
it's not equally spread.
Better is doing something different.
Better insurance, new Nigeria
I'm saying that, have they been doing anointing since? That is why. I'm only asking a simple question.
Yeah, they've been doing it.
Well, you have been in their account.
No, they've been doing it. They've been having it.
Where the lights, we want to open the lines. Okay, Fred Edora is joining us. He might give an insight
into the anointing.
And also, we're also going to open the lines so that you guys can call in. Hello, it's Fred then. Okay. Hello, Fred. Fred Edora is part of the Fred Edora. We have signed Fred Edora Channel Sport on Sunday for the past 20. He's part of this team for the past 20 years. He's in Delta now, two-time chairman, two-time secretary of Lagos One, two-time chairman of Lagos One, and there are a lot of these people together right here. And that is Fred. We're talking about the anointing.
Yes, sir.
Go on.
Anointing breaks the yoke.
What yoke are you breaking? Yoke of failure.
Truth of the matter really is that we are all cultural, religious people.
Yeah.
We all have our rituals, so to speak.
Okay, I agree.
We believe in God. Delta State, we believe in God. We're a God-believing, God-serving state. We work hard also. We make a lot of investment in sports. We train hard. You just heard the chairman of the sports commission there. We give allowances to our athletes. But after we do everything, we still commit it to God. And that's the way we grow up. That's our culture. That's our tradition. We have been winning. We don't win just because of we are putting oil on the head. We train hard, but we also commit every of our affairs to God. First of all, there is injury in sport. We pray against that. There are certain forms of disappointment. There are deceptions and so on. There are negative peer influence and all that. So we pray against that in as much as we work hard.
Do you also pray against officiating?
But we also know that international stars, top stars, they also have their own different rituals.
Exactly,
Some sit down, some kneel down in their houses and pray. Some even take the whatever of their wives.
Sugar Leonard wears his. He was carrying his girlfriend's picture in his boot when he was fighting at the Olympics. And he went on to win the gold medal. It was whenever he fights, he put it there. And there is the German national team manager who won the last World Cup. Who won the last World Cup for them? Joachim Low. There is this sweater he wears. He doesn't wash it. He was always wearing that particular sweater. Joachim Low. The point is that sweater gives them that. I think it's a blue or he wears this top he wears. So he always wears it. Even got a Southgate.
For Jose Mourinho, he checks the picture of his wife, son, and daughter, and reads a portion of the Holy Bible.
Okay, that is what he does.
For Jose Mourinho, he's very successful.
I think we shall also ask Pep what he does. Fred, are you there? Is Fred still there? Hello, Fred.
I can hear you. I'm with you.
Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, you've been part of the games, even if you forget that. Also, it's not just about this particular game. What has been the light? The positives of these national youth games right from inception till now? That we say, okay, this is why we should continue. These are the areas we should improve. But basically, let us look at what has been the positives of this game since its inception.
Well, if I get your question right, for us, what we are seeing so far is having the national youth games like we never had it before. We're giving it some more verve. We're giving it some more significance. We're giving it some more boost. Probably before now, it used to look like some kind of inter-house sport. And Delta wants to take it away from that and establish the fact that it's a very important, very significant, huge national event. You're talking about bringing the whole nation to get a peep into the planet of their future champions, athletes that will represent us probably in the next 5, 10, 15 years. And we need to discover them now. So I think it's a very important thing for the country. And that is the reason why Delta is doing it differently, to make the nation understand that this is a big deal. And so we have to put in a lot of things into our play. The opening ceremony was very electric. We put in so much that we have had before. We saw the big stars, performing artists come on board. So we had sports and we had fun. We had good entertainment because the feeling goes together. When you bring in these kids to embrace sport, you make them love it. They love the atmosphere. They love what they are doing. They enjoy it, and they want to stay with it. So I think what Delta has done, the best positive for me is to raise the ante of the National Youth Games to make us understand that it is our Junior Olympics. You know, it's from here that we have taken young athletes. Ese Brume, for instance, was discovered at the Youth Games, and she went ahead to represent Nigeria at the African Youth Games, went to represent Nigeria at the World Youth Games, and we can see how she's blossomed now. And of course, Favor was also discovered at this game. Doxin Brume discovered at this game. A lot of athletes discovered at this game that have gone on and they are representing Nigeria. So it is very important. And like the chairman must have told you, at the last few games, about 21 athletes were discovered, and some of them are overseas, schooling and getting opportunity for exposure to some of the best facilities in the world, so that they can begin to climb to that level of real elite athletes. And by the time we harvest them, probably for future games, either for Delta State or for the country, those are the kind of things that we're talking about. So we raise the ante of the game.
Okay, let me ask you. Inspiration is also part of this. Mostly, you see where some people say, look, I started playing tennis because I saw Serena Williams. I started playing because I saw Ato Ashe. I started doing this. How many of these athletes that you guys are mentioning now, how many of them did you bring back so that these kids can see them, showcase their successes, and maybe they can say, okay, we can aspire. Your successes will inspire us to do what you have done and be who you are today in the years to come. Are you able to bring in them to come and talk to them? Okay, before we come to you, before you take that, we have Friday on the line. Hello, Friday. Hello, Friday.
Hello, I'm
Patrick.
not Friday, I'm Patrick.
Okay, Patrick. I know this voice, Patrick Omorodyon.
Yes.
I know your voice.
Can you,
Patrick, reduce the volume of your telly. Reduce it. Okay, let's hear you. Hello, Patrick.
Yes, I'm enjoying your program very well, but I want to I disagree with you on one aspect you just mentioned now. That the bulk of athletes from the Midwest or Bendel were not really only from Delta. They are both from Edo and Delta.
Okay,
because yes, they do both from Edo and Delta. So,
okay.
But I praise Delta because they are spending more money because they have more money than Edo. So I think that's the aspect. Then for Fred, I think I praise Delta too for also raising the bar, but it's not right to say that the past ones were just like national, what do you call it?
Inter-house sports.
Because the past events, remember, Ilorin was hosting, University of Ilorin, not state, not Kwara. University of Ilorin was hosting it.
For those 5 editions.
Yes. So the university that was hosting it, not even the state. And they did well. Kudos. They had a lot of, what do you call it? The accommodation was super. Because all the athletes were encamped in one place. So I will praise Ilorin for doing that, for University of Ilorin to do that. But for Delta State raising the bar, it's okay. But the issue of anointing, I don't like what they are doing there. They should have done that privately. Not coming to the national TV or to open to be, you can worship your God. God is not partial. God is not partial. It's only the athlete that performs well that trains that will win. Not anointing will help anybody.
Don't go to God. If you don't go to God, God will answer your prayer. So maybe others are not going. They are also going there. You walk and pray. Are you against that?
No. I'm not saying God is not partial. That's what I'm saying. It's only people who train that will succeed. Not prayer. Prayer does not help anyone.
When you see Goliath, when you see David knocking down Goliath, you will know that prayer works.
for Okowa, that issue of using facial to determine ages of athletes is not right. I mean, we should have outgrown that now. Nigeria, we are still talking of that analog system.
Okay, Patrick, hold on. Fred wants to respond to you. Fred is there. Hello, Fred.
Yeah. first of all, I've not taken anything away from the University of Ilorin. You know, the game was first held in Abuja in 2013, and Ilorin has hosted it for 5 times before it coming to Delta. But then we must progress, and we must try to add more to the game. Anyway, Delta is about more agenda, so we need to raise the game. That's exactly what I'm saying. So we raised it past the level it used to be. And most possibly, maybe in the future, some other states, if they host, they probably will even raise it more than Delta would have raised it in the next 4 years. We must grow with it. I just want to respond to that. But again, there is nothing that can take us away from prayers and God. We are Delta states. We believe in God. We serve God. But you have also pointed out that we invest in sport. We invest heavily in sport. We invest in facilities. We invest in administration. We invest in management. We invest in the training and welfare of the athletes. But we also invest our heart in God. Nothing takes us away from that. We're God-believing people. We're hardworking people. We're very organized people. We're very articulate people, very programmed people. But we're also believers in God. So
but Delta is the heart. Delta is the heart of the heart. It is the heart. Abia is God's own state. Are you saying Delta is more godly than Abia, that is God's own state? Huh? What are you saying?
If you want us to go there, God is after the heart of man.
Anywhere.
All
right. Is Patrick still there? Patrick, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, Patrick, you have heard him. Yeah, he said he just used that as an allusion. It's not as if he didn't acknowledge the sacrifice, the contribution of University of Ilorin.
Doing well for Nigeria. That's the truth. They are doing well for Nigeria.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. Coincidentally, Patrick too is a friend of this house. So the way I heard his voice, I know that is Patrick Komorodio calling. He's also a sports journalist, so that is why he has been to Ilorin. He has enjoyed their hospitality. I will call him. He say, hello. Okay, Pat, I think I think that is the. Okay, let's talk some.
Okay, I think that there is a reason why every Olympics games they tell you this is the best ever.
And
also work also you can only have
that's why they keep on breaking records now. That's why the number keeps improving. That is why the height they keep raising the bar.
Whatever Ilorin has done is just built so that Delta needs to raise the bar. The next to start up Delta just needs to keep raising the bar higher.
But Patrick did point out that it is not as if it was Kwara State that was doing
I understand where it was coming from.
University.
And it was based on what
that's inter sport.
Of course. What Fred said.
And Fred later corrected himself. He's not taking anything away from Ilorin.
It was,
but again, you know, it's in the excitement of the moment, and when you see what Delta has put on ground, and expectedly, it has dwarfed what Ilorin.
You know that time we used to say, Lagos State, a lot of the states are jealous of Lagos when they come to this sport. Why? Because why you have a lot of these tracks, Lagos will now come with white.
A go for show.
A go for show.
But we are no longer a go for show.
They will say go for gold. Lagos will not come to the student and say go for show. They are jealous of Lagos.
So that is why the investment in critical infrastructure comes from.
Okay, let's take Afam. Afam is on the line. Hello, Afam. Afam, how are you? Hello, Afam. How are you?
Hello. Good afternoon, Jagan.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing great, sir.
Go on.
Yeah. I've been enjoying your program. And I want to say hello to Opemi and the other Yomi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about the medal thing. You talk about medals.
Yes.
Well, it's a youth game. I don't think they should
have a medal table.
Make it a medal table. Just a participation. Let them participate and encourage them. You see, I don't know. That's why you are talking about coaching.
Yes.
They try to put prize or whatever. All these states, they go, they poach. You know, it's something. It's supposed to be all these. Athletes are supposed to be gotten from academies.
Yeah.
And schools.
Which is the schools. Yeah, the schools now.
Yeah. So what they should be giving them is just certificates and maybe
scholarships. Yeah.
Scholarship. Yeah, beautiful scholarship.
Yeah.
And they should encourage secondary schools, just like they do in America, to give scholarship. They should encourage university, college of education, polytechnics. They do that. They should give them scholarship so that they will develop them from there. Well, that's what I think they should.
All right, thank you, Afam. Thank you, Afam. I think that should be part of the agenda of the.
Afam happens to be a product of school sport. Okay. A good basketballer. He also coaches formerly Laspo Tech, now university. So I think he got medal from the West African Polytechnic Games. So when he speaks, I think he knows what he's saying.
Hey, I think that the part of the agenda we should be setting for the new sports minister. I thank God that we fought for this thing. We don't want to blab, but today everybody will be in the house. Me or Jimmy, we shall come back and tell you, the processes of how we went to fight, how this show, it is, not, like I said, I repeat again, not like a crack record of how we fought that the sport minister should be removed from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, that the sport minister was an orphan, that the NYSC was taking more than 93 to 94% of the budget that is allocated to the whole sport of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. While sport, after you remove that of NYSC, you remove the leadership center, you remove the NIS, you remove the Nigerian Football Federation, which takes about 1.something billion out of that. So what was left for sport was nothing. But now that we now have a Ministry of Sport itself, basically now, I think as they're preparing the budget to be sent, you will now look at which of the schools, understand, the facilities you want to place in the schools should make up that is, I think, the capital projects has to be this. I would not want to tar roads from other people. Take it into school sport, into sports development, into facilities. And that is where we have said that from DDD, we are now in E. You understand? We keep on saying this. Now that, Eno is there above Danagogo.
So you see, Ken, it is very imperative and crucial at this point in time, given that we have a very, very huge youth population. And if we really want to engage them, sport is one viable way of going into that route. The AFN president did say that, yes, they are molding them. Even some coaches are the ones encouraging athletes.
That is a fact. Yes, in the past, some of the people that were caught with drugs in the air, they were traced to their coach.
So
even in the US, the same thing.
Yes, the same thing. That is trend all over. So what we're saying is a good development. I remember that we spoke about this thing a lot of times, and I'm happy that, yes, it has come to fruition. But let's begin to see the actual fruits of that decision, where the Ministry of Sports has now been separated from youth.
Talk about infrastructure.
To add to that, I think, Okwa was saying something about not having anything for the Budapest World Championship. Yes. It was not something that was just fixed yesterday or last year. Now, we had a situation where in the budget, you had like 200 million being budgeted for renovation of schools in Obokun Federal Constituency in Osun State. Okay. But meanwhile, the federation themselves had nothing for themselves.
Before we really go, I know our handball under 18 team, they've just qualified, for the International Handball Youth Women Championship. But we're talking about infrastructure. And before we go back to Fred and maybe just take a word from him, we talked about Remo Stars, and we saw their stadium. I was amazed when I saw FC Ebede Stadium. If it is possible, if we can have it for just a minute or two, we can have the FC Ebede Stadium. And it is if private clubs can be doing this, you understand? I don't know what the big ones. I mean, my Rangers, my Shooting Stars, my Enyimba, my Kano Pillars, and the rest of them all.
Don't talk about Shooting Stars. We have a very good home ground.
We have a stadium. This is FC Ebede. Beat this. This is a small. This is a private club in Nigeria.
And this is not AI generated.
This is,
it's not AI generated. It's live.
It is live. It is live. This is FC Ebede. It is not say, okay, go somewhere. You don't have to do a 20,000 or 100,000 seater. In England, there's some 5,000 seaters.
Exactly.
Seaters.
And community. You later leave room for development.
Because there are adjoining areas. But this is it. This is what we are talking about here.
Okay, I'm not sure. Is this a natural grass?
Natural. This is natural. This is natural grass. You can see they have the first pitch 1, pitch 2. That is the dressing room for away team, home team, and stuff like that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, that is this is admin office. That is their gym. That's their restaurant. You understand? And going up. So this is a private thing. Emmanuel. Okay, Emmanuel, as you are talking, let Emmanuel know why we are looking at this. Emmanuel, are you seeing what is going on there? Hello, Emmanuel. This is it.
Yes,
yes. Yes. Go on, Emmanuel.
Hello?
Yeah. Go on.
Actually, I want to ask some question. Can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Can you hear me?
Ask your questions, Emmanuel.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. I want to know if wrestling is it a recognized sport?
Wrestling, yes. It's a recognized sport, yes. Amateur wrestling, yes. They are doing it even at the national sport fair. As this games, the wrestling is there.
Okay, sir. Okay. Can you hear me? Why is it not recognized in indoor games in the Olympics?
It is there now. Blessing Oboro Dudu. Igali, where did Igali get his gold medal from? It is recognized at the Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah. It is one of the sports that we got medal in the last Olympics. Blessing Oboro Dudu. Yeah. Okay, gentlemen, we are leaving.
Yes, youth games, like we always say, this is the carousel that produces the next generation of athletes.
Yeah, and we have the ambassadors doing Nigeria proud at the last para tennis games in Egypt.
All right, Fred. Your last word.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been pleasant, and just keep with us here in Delta. We'll feed you and let you know what's going on.
Well, we'll still get back to you. Don't worry, you are ambassador there. Thank you, Fred, for part of the show. And I'm Ken Ochonogo. I tell you this, the Sundays are what it is. God bless Nigeria.